News tonight, I'm Marla Diaz.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Diaz in for Christine Devine. A major operation at the Port of Long Beach removing damaged shipping containers.
Workers are stabilizing them and removing them literally one by one using a giant crane. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos there in Long Beach with more on the effort to get things back up and running. What an operation this is, Ed.
Marla, you said it, really a dramatic operation and a dangerous operation, a salvage operation here after a container collapse on that large ship, a cargo ship, came in from Taiwan. The ship hit by huge waves in the open ocean. It comes in here with all those damaged containers, and now they've got a mess to clean up, a dangerous mess. Joe, take us right into this story, will you? There she is right there, the OOCL Sunflower made dock here. This is at the Port D. Port of Long Beach, and there are those twisted shipping containers, some of which we were showing you last night when this story first broke. That front end, the bow of the ship, taking a direct hit from waves in the North Pacific up near the Aleutian Islands near Alaska. 20-footers hitting that bow, tossing about 30 or so of those containers right into the open ocean. The others twisted, bent like they're cans of tuna that have been thrown around. Amazing. Better look at this amazing sight. Skyfox, we go. Have a look. Dayside, you get a great look at it from above. Look at those front line of those containers. They're all shifted over like rows of colored dominoes falling. I say that because think about it. Each of these weigh about maybe 25 to 30 tons each, depending on the cargo that's inside and the force of the Pacific, the waves to do that, just incredible. So then you've got that unstable situation, and then you've got a situation where you've got to get folks in there and remove these containers one by one. And they can't do that by getting the folks on the ship itself. It's just too dangerous. So look at this dramatic video from Skyfox. They've got the workers on baskets by a crane. They lift them up close to the damaged containers, and this is something they've got to do by hand, get close enough and attach the cables, or the lashes as they're called, to each of the four ends of the damaged container. Then they use those large cranes overhead, and they slowly lift the damaged container off, the blue one, the first container, to come off the Sunflower. They've got to do that one by one. It is a long, tedious job. Safety, of course, top priority here, because with those domino effect, they could fall. If one goes, they all start going, even though they're using a lot of cables to try to secure all of this. And then you have the maritime experts who watch all of this. They watch what happens when you have these type of situations at the ports across the country. They all say, safety, top priority. Do it by the book. Listen.
You also want to try to salvage as much as in the containers for the shippers that are going over, and you don't want to damage anything else on the vessel. Obviously, the ship wants to get the ship back out on schedule, but right now the most important thing is going to be ascertaining that there's no pollution into the environment and it's not a hazard for the crew or the longshoremen working on the docks.
And now you're looking live again, the bow of the Sunflower, those twisted containers. Some of the manifests, we're told, included furniture, also a lot of apparels, clothing. Some of those from Skyfox, we saw some of the containers actually ripped open. The metal, steel ripped open. You saw large cardboard boxes inside. So not a threat to the environment in that sense, although they've got a safety zone here around the Sunflower itself. The Coast Guard has been back and forth patrolling, and this is a salvage operation that is going very slowly, very safely, but they have to wait again until first light in the morning to continue, because it's just too dangerous at night. Imagine, though, ladies, having to get the guys in there, and it's not something that you can do through an extended arm of a crane or maybe some type of automated system. You've got to do it the old-fashioned way, using your hands to buckle up those cables and move those damaged containers one by one by one.
It's a meticulous surgery that's really underway there behind you, Ed. When you talk about how tedious and slow this is there a timeline?
No, they haven't said that at all, other than just stressing. Joe, why don't you give us another look? As you stand here, it's just amazing to look at that, because they almost look like little toy boxes up there when you realize how huge the ship is, the Sunflower, and the cables. But anyway, getting back to your point, Marla, no, the only timeline they said is they're going to do it by the book, very safely. So first of all, what they did over the last several hours was use a lot of the cables to secure as many of those containers as they could. And then now they began the process of bringing in the workers in those cages to take those containers off one by one, but it is just very slow. And the other point that they were making is they've got to make sure that when they take one off, it doesn't trigger the others to kind of fall, because they're all tied in, they're packed in so tightly that you have that domino effect. So that's the other part they're also concerned about, and that's why they have that safety zone down here. There's a big yellow boom that goes around the ship itself, good 20 yards or so circling the ship. That's the no float zone, they're calling it here, just in case one of those containers would let loose and wind up going down into the water.
Now, Ed, they've said that this is just general cargo. It wasn't that long ago when they had a similar situation, and some of the cargo was actually, potentially dangerous. So do you think they're breathing a sigh of relief, at least that they can get this done over time?
Yes, a big sigh of relief, because if you remember back then, Laura, that was like 6 months ago, they actually had the ship, I think it was called the Mississippi, and it was docked over here at one of the other ports, and then the cargo, while it was docked, actually shifted and fell into the waterway itself, into the channel, and they had dozens of containers in the water, and that was a big problem. Some hazardous materials, they thought, but also trying to clear the underwater area with those submerged containers. That was a big problem. With this one, though, this happened in the middle of the ocean, off the Aleutian Islands, when that big wave hit, and that's where they lost dozens and dozens of containers, and they had these others damaged. So that's the good news with all of this, that it did not happen here at the port itself. There was no threat to any of the waterways or the channels running through here. It's now just basically a salvage operation. So yeah, an entirely different situation. But it's interesting, huh? In the last 6 months or so, we've had two similar incidents, if you will, with cargo collapses here at the port.
Really interesting. Let's hope that the trend stops. All right, Ed, we appreciate you. Thank you. Statues covered, holidays renamed, an urgent push to erase the name Cesar Chavez from LA streets and schools following sexual abuse allegations. Fox 11's Nick Garcia has more.
A day of reckoning as the father of the farm worker movement falls from grace.
I've been in touch with the Chavez family, and they support our decision to rename this holiday.
Los Angeles, one of many cities joining the state of California in renaming Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day. Also on Thursday, Dolores Huerta speaking for the first time after revealing she was raped twice by Chavez decades ago. She talked to Latino USA, a show by Futuro Media.
I didn't want to disclose this to anybody because I just didn't want to hurt the work that we were doing for farm workers.
In the interview, Huerta said learning about other alleged victims has been painful, but says her activism work continues.
Stopping the physical and sexual attacks on women and children. And when I say that, I mean also young men, young men and young girls. We got to put an end to that, and we've got to address it.
We'll be opening officially on Saturday.
Huerta's legacy is being celebrated at Plaza de la Raza in Lincoln Heights in a special exhibit. It had already been planned, making its opening this week a striking coincidence.
While we're all sort of stunned, we all support Dolores and what she's been through and what I imagine she's going to continue to.
She said she expects an even larger turnout of supporters to show up while the exhibit is open through April 12th.
This is a sacred space. This is a space where community comes together through arts to support each other.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
And of course, we'll follow up that story on Saturday. Marquina Brown, our meteorologist, stepping in as we've been in the middle of this heat wave. And Marquina, I mean, how soon do you think it'll be back to possibly normal temps?
That's the big question, right? When are we going to get back to normal? And then the question becomes, just let me know when we're going to cool off, right? This has been something we've been dealing with for the last few days, as you know. Take a look at what we did today for record highs for some locations in our area. We're talking about Palm Springs, Indio, Thermal, Borrego, triple digits easily. The day before that, the day before today, records there. And the day before that, on St. Patty's Day, they had records as well. So we have been dealing with records for the last several days, and for some, they could continue. In terms of what we did today, numbers-wise, in LA, we topped out at 95 degrees after starting out at a really comfy 61, right? Really close to our record high here of 97 degrees. So as we take a look at what we are doing temperature-wise right now, it is still on the mild side. Lots of folks are still in the upper 80s, even some 90s still out there. We take you to Glendora. We got temperatures that are in the upper 90s. We've got 90 in Anaheim. Still very warm for the folks in Whittier as well. Good evening to you. You're enjoying 89 degrees. Cooler in Santa Monica. LAX at 69 degrees, Torrance at 73. Bottom line, temperatures are all over the place, but everybody is above where we should be, above average temperatures. That song is what we will continue to sing over the next few days. As we talk about where we will bottom out tonight in LA, we're going to get those temperatures into the upper 60s. Overnight, we will also start to see, believe it or not, some fog that could cool off our coastal areas. We'll talk about that. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast, and I'll let you know which day over the next several will be the coolest coming up in just a little bit. Until then, I'll send it back to you.
Kina, you are teasing us. Well, when the heat rises, indoor spaces are turning into hot spots for some unexpected visitors. We're talking about ants, lizards, even flying cockroaches. Could it be a good sign if some of these creatures show up inside of your home or workplace? Fox 11's Haley Winslow reports.
The heat creeps up, everything crawls in. As temperatures spike across SoCal, creepy crawlies looking to cool off too make themselves right at home. Thirsty ants march in for a drink like they own the place. Mosquitoes after blood track body heat, and termites fly in during warm weather to reproduce. Worse than unwanted house guests, king of the creepy crawlies, cockroaches, especially the flying ones. Fast, freaky, and chasing moisture.
I have little centipedes in the bathroom. Not really sure what they do.
Actually, one of the good guys, hunting bugs you don't see. Same with spiders, following the feast.
House of Daddy Longlegs. We've got them everywhere. It's their place. I just pay the rent.
Even alligator lizards, West Coast backyard regulars, sometimes sneak in chasing shade.
Giving you a little love bite.
Do not let go of that foot.
Like this little guy who got lost inside UCLA. Herpetology professor Brad Schaefer hides him in a pillowcase before releasing him in the university's botanical garden.
That's probably his home, and probably he just got lost. I think this is last year's baby.
So how much bigger do you think he'll get?
The body length might get 50% longer, but that might mean that the weight of the animal might triple. The most successful urban lizard that we have in the LA basin.
Harmless to humans and one of 2 common alligator lizards in California.
Why does one species give birth to live babies? Another lays its eggs, leaves them in the ground for a couple of months. And yet they're very, very, very closely related.
People see these in their house. What should they do? Because they seem to be pretty special creatures.
They are very special creatures, and they're really great creatures. They eat insects. They eat insects that you may not want in your house. The broom kind of, just sort of push it towards a door, get it out the door. That's where it belongs. The southern alligator lizard is a great example of that. We are doing something right environmentally to support and sustain a native species. And we don't know what it is. And wouldn't it be nice if we could figure that out?
Perhaps a reminder, even some of the creepiest crawlies have purpose. When SoCal has its warm weather, everybody wants to come over, from the in-laws to the insects. I suppose everybody has their purpose, though, except for when the cockroaches make your home their haven. So experts say keep things sealed up, dry, and clean, or the bugs are going to be calling your home the coolest pad in town. Reporting at UCLA, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
All right, still ahead at 8, a big blow for ABC. The newest season of The Bachelorette canceled over controversy surrounding Taylor Frankie Paul.
The shocking video that forced the company to make a move just days before the season premiere. That story coming up next.
I'm Cristina Gonzalez with Janteros 503. You know these guys from the Oscars, and yeah, why dancing?
Reality TV star Taylor Frankie Paul's career is on hold following the surfacing of an explosive video. ABC is canceling the upcoming season of The Bachelorette after TMZ released this disturbing video of Taylor Frankie Paul. The 2023 footage shows Paul attacking an ex-boyfriend, throwing bar stools and using a headlock. A 5-year-old child was injured in the scuffle. Paul previously pleaded guilty to aggravated assaults, receiving probation. Production on her other show, Mormon Wives, is now on hold. We do want to warn you, the video you are about to see is graphic.
Yeah, look at you. Look. Yeah, look. This is called physical abuse. Yeah. Yeah. See, Taylor, this is all you do. It's the only thing you know how to do is hurt me. Huh? And you think this is okay? It's not okay. Holy I don't give a Let me go. Stop. Dude, leave me alone. Oh my God. Your daughter is right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my. You're unbelievable. No, you. Stop throwing stuff and help your daughter. Your daughter. Stop screaming at me.
Oh my goodness, my heart breaks for the baby girl there. Utah child welfare officials are investigating as Paul and Mortensen, he's the man in the video, undergo psychological evaluations. Disney, which owns ABC, says their focus is on supporting the family. Meanwhile, Taylor says she is prioritizing her family's safety and hopes to inspire other women to share their stories.
A strike deadline is now set for LAUSD. If no contract deal is reached by April 14th, teachers will walk out. The district's interim superintendent speaking at a morning news conference.
We certainly recognize that the cost of living in Los Angeles continues to rise. And in response, we have committed to significant raises for our employees, among the highest offers in the state.
That offer is 8%, and teachers are demanding a 17% raise. They've been working without a contract since June of last year. The interim superintendent says a strike would be massive and would end up shutting down schools.
You have 3 unions, UTLA, SEIU, and AALA, who have all indicated that they would strike together. It is exceedingly difficult, if not nearly impossible, to maintain schools open during that scenario.
94% of teachers have already voted to authorize a strike. Labor leaders say that they set an April 14th date to give both sides time to reach an agreement. Well, actor George Takei is now starring in a production that will cement his legacy as a prominent Japanese American.
Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna shows us how AI technology is helping him share stories from his time in World War II incarceration camps.
We were still looked at as the enemy.
George Takei.
It's my mission in life to tell the story of our unjust incarceration.
And George Takei. The real George sat side by side with his digital doppelganger. This is AI technology by an LA company called Storyfile. George, do you have any fond memories of being in camp at Roar?
In came Daddy into our block, driving that Jeep, beeping that horn, and we leaped on it, and other kids surrounded it looking so envious.
Visitors to the Japanese American National Museum will be able to interact with George and 3 others, like June Aochi Burke. Her family was incarcerated in Roar, Arkansas, just like George. Long before this technology was available, she joked with her grandkids where to find her when she was gone.
When you grow up, you could go to the museum and I'll be in the corner waving. They'll prop me up in the corner and I'll be waving. So this is coming true.
It took 3 long days of interviews to create each story file. Mary Murakami is the most recently produced. She needs more interaction to refine the user's AI experience. Hi, what is your name?
I don't have an answer for that question, but would you like to ask me another?
Janum is currently closed for a major remodel. There's only one opportunity to experience StoryFile before the grand reopening in November. Members can come to the Democracy Center Saturday. Now, getting back to George's purpose for being here and here.
Oh, my.
Now his mission will live long and prosper beyond today.
When I've lived out this life, I'm still living out that life after I'm gone. So it's very fulfilling.
So again, the preview of the StoryFile experience is this Saturday only. You have to be a member of the Japanese American National Museum, and then the tickets are free. And then the final permanent installation will come when the museum reopens in November. In Little Tokyo, Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News.
All right, coming up, legal action to block a television mega merger.
The multi-state lawsuit trying to stop Nexstar's takeover of Tegna. Coming up next.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
Live look outside from atop Mount Wilson, and it's very hot outside, and we'll leave it up to our meteorologist Markina Brown to tell you all the details about the heat.
I mean, you know, we've been hearing it over the last few days, right? It's hot. It's all because of an area of high pressure giving us very dry air and obviously hot air, and we are going to stay under the influence of that area of high pressure at least for the next couple of days. Even as it starts to cool down a bit, that area of high pressure will still be around. So here's a look at your weather headlines. We've got one more day of temperatures in the 90s inland, and there will still be some low triple digits out there. As we get into the weekend, yeah, it'll be a little bit cooler, but still above average with temperatures in the 80s inland. So the heat wave will persist through next week at least. Let's take a look at some numbers on the outside. Again, a very warm night. I love warm nights. How about you? Take a look at what we're doing in the valleys. Burbank's sitting at 86 degrees right now. If you are in Pasadena, you are at a very mild 75. We've got 87 in Ontario. Woodland Hills at 76. Santa Monica feeling very different at 69 degrees. Lots of folks right along the coast are going to feel different as we head towards tomorrow, because believe it or not, we're going to get a little coastal fog that will develop late tonight into early tomorrow morning. So that will hold temperatures down a little bit. So as we kind of start the clock here, you can see that as we get into the overnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can see the little fog starting to develop there. That will keep temperatures a little bit cooler tomorrow from some coastal areas compared to today. But again, it is still going to be on the warm side. So speaking of tomorrow, let's talk numbers, shall we? We've got them in the upper 90s. We've got low triple digits for you in Woodland Hills. Burbank will see temperatures right around 96 degrees, right along with the folks in Pasadena. Triple digits again for San Bernardino, Corona, Riverside, Santa Ana. 86 degrees is what you'll do tomorrow at the very least. So again, whether it's going to be cooler for you or not tomorrow, the bottom line is that it'll still be hot. Again, the culprit if you don't like the heat, right, is this area of high pressure that will stick and stay. As we get into the weekend, it's going to kind of wobble a little bit. It'll go down to the south. That'll cool us down a little bit, but still, it's close enough that we will keep those temperatures above average. So stick around as we head towards later on in the newscast. We'll talk about what you should expect in the 7-day forecast, which day will be the hottest, how long this is going to last, and if there's going to be an actual bearable day in terms of temperatures coming up in just a little bit. We'll do that. Back to you.
Martina, thank you. Still ahead right here, a massive FBI sweep targets a sophisticated mortgage fraud ring, millions stolen, luxury cars seized, and suspects arrested from LA to Canada.
It is a story you'll see only on Fox 11. Plus, Rachel Aragon.
And Palisades High School students right now returning to the stage for the very first time since last January's wildfires. We're live tonight with a musical performance you won't want to miss.
live across SoCal. This is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Only on Fox 11 tonight, a dramatic early morning fraud crackdown.
Federal agents and Los Angeles police swarming homes from LA to Sacramento, even Canada, to make arrests in a sophisticated mortgage fraud case. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf and photojournalist Sam Dubin out before dawn with the FBI.
An early morning FBI fraud takedown across LA County. Fox 11, the only TV crew there, as federal agents and police storm a North Hollywood home, zeroing in on a man they say is tied to a sprawling mortgage fraud scheme.
It's a complex fraud scheme in which people are using private citizens' homes to leverage that to steal money.
Moments later, the suspect walks out barefoot and in pajamas, placed in handcuffs. Parked outside, high-end cars, a Range Rover and Lexus, the home itself appearing freshly remodeled. This image from Apple Maps compared to how it looked Thursday morning.
They live a very elaborate lifestyle based on the ill-gotten gains of this type of fraud.
This arrest related to about 10 others happening simultaneously across LA County and as far away as Florida and Canada.
This organized crime network has their minions, so to speak, on the lending side and the theft side of it.
Nobody likes to see somebody get a bunch of money for nothing, basically. People they paid off their mortgages on their homes. They should feel confident that, they still own those homes free of encumbrances.
According to charging documents, the suspects stole identities, often from elderly victims, then used those identities to access property records. From there, they convinced private lenders to hand over millions, falsely claiming those homes as collateral. Total losses around $17 million in fraudulent loans.
We're certainly focusing on fraud in all its forms, not just fraud against the government or, whether it's the state or the national government. But it's also, in this case, you have fraud against private citizens and, private lenders as well.
A years-long investigation now turning into a wave of arrest with potentially more on the way tied to fraud.
It is a priority for us based on what's going on nationally in this lane. Trying to recover those funds and get them back to the taxpayers is a priority. We're working closely with the IRS in that as well.
Reporting in North Hollywood, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Tonight, no signs of a travel nightmare coming to an end for flyers across the country. Long lines at security checkpoints as scores of TSA workers aren't showing up due to missed paychecks. If staffing shortages continue, some hubs may have to shut down entirely. Now, the partial government shutdown now in its 5th week with no end in sight. Democrats claim that they've tried to fund parts of DHS that would pay TSA workers, but were blocked by Republicans. And new tonight, the curtains are back up at Palisades Charter High School, and students are taking the stage for the first time since wildfires devastated their campus theater with a new production of Rent.
Yeah, they aren't just rebuilding sets, they are rebuilding their community. Fox 11's Rachel Aragon, she's live there in Pacific Palisades with the story. Rachel?
You're hard to believe just over a year ago, students couldn't even get anywhere near the space I'm standing right now. Now they're performing on stage with so many people and giving this community an experience they'll never forget. Music fills the halls of Palisades Charter High School for the first time in 14 months. And not just any music, signature songs from the smash hit Rent.
This is our return to Pali. This is our first show on campus.
Theater and dance instructor Cherie Smith is not just helping direct the production. She was also part of the Angel Company cast for the Broadway national tour of Rent.
I'm really fortunate to be able to share that experience with our students here.
Don't got much baggage to lay at you.
For me, it's been a really cathartic experience.
For many students, especially those like seniors like Ella White, who lost her home in the Palisades fire, the ability to perform under these lights has been healing.
I'm honestly happiest when I'm at rehearsal.
These students acting in the beloved musical that is set in East Village of New York City, they've also had their hands in everything you see here, from the set design to the costume design, which had been stripped away after last year's January wildfires.
We had lost everything, all of our sets and props and costumes.
It was very somber, but getting to
getting the news that we were going to come back here was everything.
The students at Palisades Charter High School were always close, but being able to return to the stage after months of recovery has made them even stronger.
This show just also brings everybody together, so it's such a strong knit group, and we're all just working hard, and we all just want everybody to enjoy it.
And you still have a chance to see the performance yourself in person, and there should be a QR code on your screen to learn more about tickets. But back here live in Palisades, I can tell you I heard firsthand their beautiful rendition of Seasons of Love, and these students are just so talented and put so many hours in, not just for the performance, but also, as you saw, the costumes and set design. Pre-live in Pacific Palisades tonight. I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you.
And when we introduced you, we said they're not just rebuilding the sets, they're rebuilding the community, and I'm sure it was evident with community as well there tonight.
You could certainly tell, and Marla, I have to say, the smiles on these kids' faces when they're on stage, you could just tell. And they even told me, though, that they're happy to bring a little bit of hope and light to this community that, of course, has been through so much in the last year.
Yeah, it's all part of that healing process. And, you know, it's a little difficult to sell tickets because we have to remind ourselves many people moved out of the area while their homes are being rebuilt, right? So we want to get the word out there so people can enjoy this first-rate talent.
We do. And also, as a reminder, they were practicing, of course, and performing back in a different building not too long ago. So if anyone can come support this group, of course, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it because, again, they have been through so much in the last year.
Yeah, they deserve that support. All right, Rachel, thank you so much.
Federal auto regulators are ramping up to a probe in Tesla's self-driving software. The NHTSA is looking at 9 crashes where the software failed to alert drivers in fog or other poor conditions. Now, the increased scrutiny coincides with Elon Musk's plans to launch a driverless robotaxi service. Tesla is also facing investigations into self-driving equipped cars running red lights, and another into door handles that reportedly failed to work in crashes.
8 states, including California and New York, are suing to block TV station owner Nexstar's $6.2 billion takeover of rival company Tegna.
This merger would give one broadcasting behemoth the power to raise prices for consumers and to control and degrade local news coverage, sports programming, and other TV content. And it would undoubtedly lead to job cuts. We're in court today to stop it.
Nexstar announcing tonight the FCC has approved the mega merger, uniting 2 of the largest TV station ownership groups in the U.S. California Attorney General Rob Bonta there heading up the lawsuit says the merger will stifle local journalism and lead to higher prices for consumers. Well, we dare you to watch this next story without breaking out in a smile and maybe even busting a few moves.
You're going to love this story. And a family of dancing tire repair shop guys in the San Fernando Valley ended up winning an Oscar. You heard me correctly. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez met up with them, and it was pure joy.
I am from one of the crew members here of Llanteros 503.
Llanteros 503, the tire repair trio from Sun Valley with quite the following on social media. Especially after The Singers, the short film about a singing competition in a bar one of them was part of, took them to the Oscars. And guess what?
One Oscar goes to The Singer.
Picking up the coveted statue, Uncle Rigo, who says he had a feeling.
I know. Believe me, I feel it. That's why we do this. We touch him.
We go like this all the time.
Their sense of humor is a trademark that translates to videos they started doing 3 years ago.
We basically started recording our day-to-day work. Okay, we're working on tires, you know, and we don't do regular car tires. We do big tires.
But it was the dancing by themselves with clients, even with Salvadorian comedian Jose, who wrote this song for them that made them a social media phenomenon, so that even reporters have to prove their moves to get the interview. But when the Singer's director, Sam Davis, initially reached out, they thought it was a joke.
You know, we're like, come on, man. Damn, people, can't they do it? You know?
More than possible, it was real. And they're running with it.
Now back up.
posting their Oscar visit to In-N-Out with Michael Jordan. You got a competition written on it. But even with all this, they remain humble and proud, especially of their heritage. Their family came from war-torn El Salvador in the 80s.
We thank the singers for this, but at the same time, that statue of the Oscars, it represents El Salvador. Thank you, Tio. Thank you, Mr. George.
And that's the message for young people and somebody that got our age.
If you want to check out these guys, you have to go to Llanteros 503 on social media. I'm Christina Gonzalez, dancing in Sun Valley. Fox 11 News.
We'll talk about loving your job. And you're looking live at Santa Monica Pier's Locals Night tonight. It's celebrating LA hip-hop and culture. There's music, art, even classic cars.
Oh, I love this. This is salsa dancing in Pacific Park. The event is offering free salsa lessons and dancing 40 feet over the ocean. The event is free. It's open to everyone. If you want to check it out, it's not too late. It ends at 10 o'clock tonight. Look at them go. It's a packed house.
We could still dash over.
I love that. That's so fun. Do they do this often? I'm gonna look this up.
Good exercise, too.
It's locals night. Locals night. For a second, I thought it was singles night. I'm like, I'm not single. I can't do that. But local, we can do that, Laura.
Yeah.
How fun. All right, coming up, we are checking in with meteorologist Markina Brown.
There, good evening. Take a look at what we are doing temperature-wise outside. It is still warm at this hour. Should you expect this to carry on as we head towards tomorrow night and the night after that? We're taking a look at 7-day forecast coming up.
It is showtime at the Hollywood Pantages Theater, where the hit Broadway musical Beetlejuice has landed.
Fox 11's Bob DeCastro got a behind-the-scenes look at the hilarious stage production.
when I get revealed at the top of the show, I'm behind a newspaper. Holy crap, a ballot already? Bum, bum. And then hopefully wait for applause.
Ryan Stammiger leads the Beetlejuice cast as the ghost with the most.
It's showtime.
He showed us some of the magical props that help bring the netherworld to life.
Hi, I'll be your guide.
Including the famous handbook for the recently deceased.
So there's 3 of these, you said?
Yes, there's 3 of these.
You don't want to lose them.
You don't want to lose them. There's one that's a little fancier that lights up. And there's one in case this one falls from the sky, and in case for some whatever reason that doesn't work.
For Stammiger, stepping into the striped suit is a dream role.
This is what I'm in for a majority of the show. I have 3 different shirts because of the amount that I sweat in the show.
Because there's that much energy that you are expending.
Yes. I was a huge fan of the movie. Growing up, Tim Burton was like one of my favorite directors, and this movie specifically, and Michael Keaton, I'm a huge fan.
It's probably one of his most iconic roles.
Yes. Which is crazy because it is only that 15 minutes of screen time, but it's like, this is the one we remember.
Fans of the film are showing up in full force, many even dressing the part.
You look out, I'm sure, into the audience, and people are so invested in this, not only in their cosplay, but to like mouth out all and sing all of the tunes.
It's very, yeah, if you've ever seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's like very similar to that sometimes. We don't have quite the same scream out moments that Rocky has, like scripted dialogue, but you know, the audience can get wild.
And the transformation into the mischievous demon isn't left to a makeup department.
I am horrible at my eyeliner, but, you know, with Beetlejuice, he's kind of like punk Rocky and a demon, so the eyeliner specifically doesn't super matter.
Stammiger actually does it himself. After a half hour, the actor's face transforms into the spirit fans know and love, ready to haunt Hollywood once again.
There he is.
This is good.
Yeah.
It's showtime! We're here in LA at the Pantages through March 22nd.
Break a leg.
Thank you.
Or 2.
Our Bob DeCastro there, thank you. He's always entertaining.
Yeah, it's a classic, right?
Oh, for sure.
And to be able to see live theater is always so much fun.
So good, so good.
And it would be good to cool off inside of a theater, right?
I was gonna say, we're seeing the heat live, for sure. And it's going to stay that way over the next at least a week or so. It'll cool down, but the cool down is relative, right? I mean,
because we're way above average.
Right. So if we cool down 5 degrees, it's still hot, and it's still going to be above average. So that is what we are doing, folks. So get ready. If you love the heat, then you are going to love this forecast. But look at what we've been doing so far for the month of March. That doesn't look like a March. 84 is where we started out the month. We dropped into the 70s over several days or so, and then things just started to get hot, and we've been there ever since. Take a look at the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th, though. That is the first time that we've had temperatures above 95 degrees or so over 3 days consecutively. That is how crazy this heat wave is, and like I said, we are going to continue with that even as we get into tomorrow. So let's go over today again. Our official high, 95 degrees after starting out at a very comfy 61 degrees. The normal for this time of year, just 70. The record just 2 degrees away from that at 97 degrees. So as we look at how we will climb tomorrow, we are going to start the day with temperatures in the 60s. By 10 o'clock or so, we'll be in the low 80s and finish out the day in LA with temperatures in the low 90s. The reason we're kind of stuck in this weather pattern is because of this area of high pressure. It is a huge, obviously strong area of high pressure, and as long as it sticks around, our weather pattern will stay the same. What it will do, though, is almost wobble a little bit. It'll fall to the south of us as we get into Saturday and Sunday, and that's why some of us will cool down as we get into those 2 days. But then, as you can see, it's not going to go far. So yeah, temperatures will kind of go up and down a wee bit over the next few days, but for the most part, as I said, it is still going to be HOT. Take a look at what we're doing as we get into tomorrow. We're talking about highs again in the mid to upper 90s, low triple digits. 101, San Bernardino, Woodland Hills in the triple digits, Corona, Riverside in the triple digits, while the folks in parts of the valleys won't be far from triple-digit temperatures, right? As we get into Saturday, a little bit cooler. You don't see triple digits there. We've got 91 for El Monte, 87 for Whittier, LA, looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s as well. So as we take a look at the 7-day forecast here, getting into tomorrow for LA, 94 degrees, but then we start to see temperatures come down very comfortably as we get into Saturday and Sunday before we start to slowly go back up for the beginning of the work week. Looking at the coast, 79 degrees. Remember, we could see some coastal fog develop late tonight into tomorrow. So because of that, that'll hold temperatures down a little bit as we get into tomorrow. But temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 70s as we get into Monday, Tuesday and beyond for you. As we look at the valleys in the Inland Empire again, yeah, you're looking at triple digits, easy. Low triple digits for you tomorrow. You cool down nicely, still in the upper 80s, lower 90s as we get into the weekend. But for the beginning of the work week, we are keeping sunshine around and we are keeping temperatures in the low 90s. That is a look at what we're doing, ladies. Keep it cool. Let's send it back to you.
Okay. We still have more news ahead right here at 8 o'clock.
But first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna calling for a review of jail conditions after 10 inmate deaths in under 3 months. We'll tell you about more of that growing concern. Plus, get your need for speed. I'll tell you about a new digital exclusive series that follows IndyCar drivers, teams, and competitions up close and personal ahead at 9.
We like this so much, we went back. You're looking live at Santa Monica Pier's Locals Night tonight. It's celebrating LA hip hop and culture, and there's music and art, even classic cars. And Marla, check out the dancing.
I love it. Look at the Nacho Libre in there too.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
So salsa dancing in Pacific Park. It's free, offers free salsa lessons, dancing 40 feet just above the ocean. The event is, you can see the outside right there too. How great. The event is free, open to everyone. If you want to check it out, it's not too late just yet. If you live close by, it ends at 10 o'clock tonight. So you've still got 64 minutes left of this.
You know, still the chance to learn how to salsa dance. I don't know. Do you?
Formally like that? No. Well, I mean, I feel like I could. Yes. I feel like I do. Yes.
You could fake it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, it'd be a lot of fun, and you can tell that everybody's getting into it. So.
Yes, including I think our photojournalist behind the camera there, Mike Armijo. Shake it, don't break it, Mike.
You gonna show us a few moves, Mike? Come on.
All right, LA Live News Tonight continues at 9. Stay with us.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Now at 9, a massive cleanup is underway at the Port of Long Beach as crews carefully remove damaged shipping containers with a giant crane. Statues draped, holidays remain. Cesar Chavez's name being removed from LA streets and schools. And we're live from the coast to the inland valleys. Meteorologist Martina Brown with a preview of what's on the horizon.
Hey, Marla, good evening. We had heat today, the day before, and the day before. We're on a roll, obviously. But for how long? We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast, and I'll let you know who could see fog coming up.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. Thanks for being with us. I'm Marla Tejas. Well, you saw it here first on Fox 11 last night, a major operation at the Port of Long Beach, removing shipping containers. Tonight, workers are stabilizing them and removing them one by one using a giant crane. Let's go live to Fox 11's Ed Lascos there in Long Beach with more on this effort to get things back up and running. It's like a Jenga out there, Ed.
Yeah, very much so. Good way to describe it, Marla. Almost like dominoes as they came falling down, talking about those damaged shipping containers, huge containers tossed around like toys. Joe, show us, take us right into the story. Look at those containers. You know, they weigh tons depending on what they're loaded up with, and they're tossed around, twisted around by the force of the ocean, some threatening to fall into the channel from this cargo ship that came in, made port yesterday from Taiwan after being in the middle of the ocean and taking a direct hit. The bow of that ship, a direct hit from huge waves said to be 20-footers. Watch. Container collapse, and now the dramatic salvage operation, all targeting the 00CL Sunflower, now docked here at the Port of Long Beach. Check out the bow of the ship and these cargo containers, all taking a direct hit from 20-foot waves off the coast of Alaska. The huge waves slamming into these shipping containers, washing some 30 of them right overboard, damaging many of the others. Just look at some of them, huh? Twisted, others ripped wide open like they're cans of tuna, just barely hanging on to the edge of the ship. From Skyfox, a much better look. The containers shifting, falling like they're colored stacks of dominoes. Imagine the sheer force of the ocean just to do this.
And look at the wrinkles in the steel. You know, just the force involved to make all that crazy stuff happen. It's insane.
It is insane, the damage, and now the dangerous salvage operation. Cranes lift these workers up in their safety cages. They get close, and they have to do this by hand, attaching the cables, or the lashes as they're called, to each end of the container. Then it is slowly lifted off the ship. They do this safely, slowly, one by one.
Right now, the most important thing is going to be ascertaining that there's no pollution into the environment, and it's not a hazard for the crew or the longshoremen working on the docks.
And now a look inside one of the ripped open containers. Large cardboard boxes, furniture, and clothing said to be on the manifest as the Sunflower left Taiwan for the dangerous North Pacific.
The North Pacific is a really rough route. I mean, even though it's March and weather's starting to get nicer in Southern California, it's still rough in the Northern Pacific. And the Northern Pacific is a big ocean. It's one of the roughest in the world.
Now you're looking live, the power of the North Pacific. As he said, one of the most dangerous, treacherous, powerful oceans in all the world. Amazing, huh, when you see that? So we talked about the salvage operation here. They shut it down because they've got to do it daylight. It's just so dangerous because they've got to get in there with those cages and do it all by hand. So they'll be back expected first thing in the morning. But the thing is also, as they removed a few of these large containers off the top, they began to worry, thinking just a little bit of the weight moving around could shift some more of those containers. And as we saw from Skyfox, they've kind of falling just like dominoes, really. So that's why they got to be very careful. Make sure they have that entire area, that entire row of containers heavily secured as they try to remove one from one. But Marla, how about that, huh? They can't get actual workers on the ship itself, too dangerous, so they have to use those cranes, move them in, and then very carefully do it the old-fashioned way by hand, attaching all the lashes, the cables.
It's an incredible operation and such a sight to see, Ed, and to think that there was a similar something that happened about 6 months ago that we covered. You were out there, you covered that. It's interesting that this has happened. And this one, though, by nature of Mother Nature.
Yeah, you're right. The difference between them, Marley, is the one a few months ago happened as the ship made port here, and then some of the lashes, the cables gave way, and they actually had the containers falling into the channel while it was on the port, while it made the landfall here at the dock, if you will. So that brought in national investigators, the NTSB, and they were all, the Coast Guard, all checking because it was sort of an accident, if you will, right here at the port. This one, though, did not happen at the port, as we were saying, in the wide open ocean, and they lost. You see that, Joe will give you a look where all those containers are. To the right, you see that big wide open space between the row of containers? Oh, yeah. That's where we've been told a lot of the containers, see them? That was wiped clean by the force of the ocean. Some 30 of those containers just washed away like toys. The one fellow was telling us. He was an old, we were calling him an old sea captain here. He had the, he had the big beard and everything. But he was saying, look at that. You think about that and what the ocean can do. So it really is very, very impressive. And down here, they're doing it by the book, very safely, very slowly, especially when you're dealing with cargo like this. And the weight of each one of these containers, despite what they're loaded with, you're talking about tons each one of them.
Gives a whole new meaning to precious cargo, doesn't it, Ed?
Yeah, it does. More ways than one. You're right.
Yeah, all right. Ed Lascos live for us. Thanks so much. Live look outside now from atop Mount Wilson, sparkly San Fernando Valley. Kind of cooling off right now. I mean, it is 9 p.m. at night, but get ready for another hot day. Few days, in fact. Let's check in with meteorologist Martina Brown. And I love that you look like the sunshine.
I'm bringing it to you. I feel
really
like
are.
if we're going to have to deal with it, you
might as well dress like it.
Yeah, I mean, when in Rome. Yeah, Marla, it has been really all about the heat over the last several days, right? That's all everybody's been talking about. It's been a big deal because we've been setting record temperatures kind of all over our viewing area, day after day after day. Here's an example of it right here. Palm Springs, Indio, Thermal, and Borrego set record highs today from the record high the day before, from the record high the day before that. So days and days of record heat have been our story. As we get into the weekend, we'll cool off a little bit for you, but still, it is going to be well above average. We started out the day today in LA at 61 degrees, ended up at 95, just 2 degrees shy from the record high of 97 degrees. We're going to do a really mild night for you as we go through the night. If you're going to be in LA, it's going to be nice and comfy. Temperatures only dipping down into the upper 60s. We'll take that, right? I mean, if you're going to deal with a hot day, a really nice, somewhat mild night is not bad at all. That is what we're going to do really all across the area. But speaking of tonight, the other thing that we're going to kind of throw in there for you is that some coastal areas could see some fog late tonight into early tomorrow morning. What that could do for you is cool it down a wee bit. Still, again, on the warm side, but hey, we'll take what we can get, right? So we're going to get some fog kind of developing here. You can see it right along the coast during the overnight, 1 a.m., seeing it there, and we're heading toward 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock. We're still seeing it. That's going to hold temperatures down. Stick around. We'll talk about how low those temperatures will go or how mild they will be. We'll say that. We'll take a look at 7-day forecast and see what you should expect as we get into the weekend and beyond. Coming up in just a little bit. Back to you.
All right, Martina, thank you. After 10 years of investigation, the Ventura Police Department is closing the cold case murder of Arnold Ikeda. Ikeda was found shot and killed in March of 2016, so it's been 10 years. Detectives now saying Johnny Caro, who was identified as the likely suspect 10 years ago, is the gunman behind the crime. Police say Caro died in 2021 before there was enough evidence to charge him. A former San Diego State University police sergeant pleads guilty to possessing over 600 files of child sexual abuse material. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, 46-year-old Paul Ariello McLean admitted to downloading explicit content involving minors, including videos of girls who appeared to be between 8 and 10 years old. He faces up to 20 years in federal prison, with sentencing set for June 24th. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna is calling on the National Institute of Corrections to review jail conditions after 10 inmate deaths in under 3 months. This is according to the LA Times. This comes as concerns grow over unsafe and unconstitutional conditions, highlighted by a lawsuit from California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Luna says the goal is an unbiased top-to-bottom review to address issues like health access, drug use, and overcrowding. Well, statues covered like right here, holidays renamed, an urgent push to erase the name Cesar Chavez from LA streets and schools following sexual abuse allegations. Fox 11's Nick Garcia has the very latest.
A day of reckoning as the father of the farm worker movement falls from grace.
I've been in touch with the Chavez family, and they support our decision to rename this holiday.
Los Angeles, one of many cities joining the state of California in renaming Cesar Chavez Day to Farm Workers Day. Also on Thursday, Dolores Huerta speaking for the first time after revealing she was raped twice by Chavez decades ago. She talked to Latino USA, a show by Futuro Media.
I didn't want to disclose this to anybody because I just didn't want to hurt the work that we were doing for farm workers.
In the interview, Huerta said learning about other alleged victims has been painful, but says her activism work continues.
Stopping the physical and sexual attacks on women and children. And when I say that, I mean also young men, young men and young girls. We got to put an end to that, and we've got to address it.
We'll be opening officially on Saturday.
Huerta's legacy is being celebrated at Plaza de la Raza in Lincoln Heights in a special exhibit. It had already been planned, making its opening this week a striking coincidence.
While we're all sort of stunned, we all support Dolores and what she's been through and what I imagine she's going to continue to.
She said she expects an even larger turnout of supporters to show up while the exhibit is open through April 12th.
This is a sacred space. This is a space where community comes together through arts to support each other.
Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Canceled. Up next, ABC calls off Taylor Frankie Paul's season of The Bachelorette just 3 days before it was set to premiere. And a surfer attacked at a popular Northern California beach. What we know about the possible shark encounter. Plus, uninvited guests, ants, lizards, and even flying cockroaches are making their way indoors during this heat wave. But could their presence actually mean something positive? We'll explain. A surfer was injured yesterday at Big River Beach in Mendocino. This is way up north, possibly by a shark. The 39-year-old man suffered leg injuries and was helped by off-duty lifeguards. He was taken to a hospital in Fort Bragg, but his condition has not been updated. Wildlife officials are investigating, and nearby beaches are closed for 48 hours as a precaution. Authorities remind visitors that Shark encounters are rare, but part of the coastal ecosystem. When the heat rises, indoor spaces are turning into hotspots for some unexpected visitors like ants, lizards, even flying cockroaches. Could it be a good sign if some of these creatures show up inside your home or inside your workplace? Fox 11's Haley Winslow reports.
The heat creeps up, everything crawls in. As temperatures spike across SoCal, creepy crawlies looking to cool off too make themselves right at home. Thirsty ants march in for a drink like they own the place. Mosquitoes after blood track body heat, and termites fly in during warm weather to reproduce. Worse than unwanted house guests, king of the creepy crawlies, cockroaches, especially the flying ones. Fast, freaky, and chasing moisture.
I have little centipedes in the bathroom. Not really sure what they do.
Actually, one of the good guys, hunting bugs you don't see. Same with spiders, following the feast.
House of Daddy Longlegs. We've got them everywhere. It's their place. I just pay the rent.
Even alligator lizards, West Coast backyard regulars, sometimes sneak in chasing shade.
Giving you a little love bite.
Do not let go of that foot.
Like this little guy who got lost inside UCLA. Herpetology professor Brad Schaefer hides him in a pillowcase before releasing him in the university's botanical garden.
That's probably his home, and probably he just got lost. I think this is last year's baby.
So how much bigger do you think he'll get?
The body length might get 50% longer, but that might mean that the weight of the animal might triple. The most successful urban lizard that we have in the LA basin.
Harmless to humans and one of 2 common alligator lizards in California.
Why does one species give birth to live babies? Another lays its eggs, leaves them in the ground for a couple of months. And yet they're very, very, very closely related.
People see these in their house. What should they do? Because they seem to be pretty special creatures.
They are very special creatures, and they're really great creatures. They eat insects. They eat insects that you may not want in your house. The broom kind of, just sort of push it towards a door, get it out the door. That's where it belongs. The southern alligator lizard is a great example of that. We are doing something right environmentally to support and sustain a native species. And we don't know what it is. And wouldn't it be nice if we could figure that out?
Perhaps a reminder, even some of the creepiest crawlies have purpose. When SoCal has its warm weather, everybody wants to come over, from the in-laws to the insects. I suppose everybody has their purpose, though, except for when the cockroaches make your home their haven. So experts say keep things sealed up, dry, and clean, or the bugs are going to be calling your home the coolest pad in town. Reporting at UCLA, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Well, we are seeing historic heat in the Southwest. The desert community of Martinez Lake hit 110 degrees today. That breaks the record for the highest March temperature ever recorded in the United States. The community is about 145 miles west of Phoenix. The record comes just one day after temperatures soared to 108 degrees in the Riverside County community of Thermal. That tied the record for the highest March temperature in the U.S. Well, and happening tomorrow, sprung. It springs tomorrow in the northern hemisphere. It begins. It's the vernal equinox, meaning day and night are nearly equal, about 12 hours each. While we welcome spring, the southern hemisphere starts fall.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
Live look outside, and it looks like the arrivals or the departures is jam-packed there. People heading out of town, I guess, maybe trying to cool off. I don't know. Meteorologist Markina Brown is here, looking like the sunshine, bringing the sunshine literally and figuratively.
Yeah, forecasting the sunshine, and it's going to stick around for the foreseeable future. The sunshine and the heat is going to be a big part of our weather headlines here over the next several days. So we're going to continue to deal with it. Again, as you look outside, it is gorgeous. It is clear. It is cooler. But all month long, as you can see, we have been dealing with some warm highs. We started out the month of March at 84 degrees. We got cooler and dealt with some low 70s, and we've been slowly but surely climbing ever since. Take a look, though, at what we know about the last 3 days or so. It is the first time in March that we've had 3 consecutive days of 95 degrees or more And we're going to continue to do that even as we head toward tomorrow for some areas. So we'll continue to keep track of this, folks. But the bottom line, as you know, it is that, it's all about the heat around here. We're taking a look at current temperatures outside in the 60s, the 70s, and even the 80s. Good evening. If you are in Chino, your current temperature at this hour is in the low 80s. We've got low 80s for the folks in Ontario as well. Pasadena at 74. Burbank, good evening. 84 degrees is where you are. It's like a warm summer night almost. That is what we're doing right now. As we head toward later on tonight, we'll start to see those lows come into play. Still not bad. Upper 60s in places like Pasadena and Ontario. San Bernardino looking at low 60s for overnight lows. Woodland Hills at 65 degrees. So let's talk about tomorrow because the heat is going to stick around. We're looking at numbers slowly but surely climbing into the upper 80s as we head toward noon, and by 2 o'clock in LA, we're looking at low 90s. Why all the heat? You must be wondering, right? It is all because of an area of high pressure. It is strong and it is building and will continue to do so until we get into the weekend. Now, as we look at specific days like Saturday and Sunday, you can see that it wobbles a little further down to the south. Still around us or near us, but it'll move to the south, and that'll give us a little bit of cooling there as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Still, temperatures are going to be above average, but that's where we cool off until it kind of comes back. So it's going to stick around. Bottom line, temperatures aren't really going to move that much. As we look at tomorrow, we're talking about triple-digit temperatures for lots of places. Woodland Hills, Ontario, San Bernardino, Corona. We'll talk more about the 7-day forecast and see if we can find a much cooler day coming our way in just a little bit. Until then, Marla, I'll send it back to you.
Right, searching for the cooler weather. Very good. Well, they're trying to beat the heat out there at the Santa Monica Pier right now. Look at this live shot. This is live happening right now. This is Locals Night at the Santa Monica Pier, and tonight it's celebrating LA hip hop and culture. Our photojournalist Mike Armijo behind the camera bringing us the live pictures here. There's music, art, even classic cars there. We asked how it's how fun this event is and how it began in the first place.
So the pier is known to have concerts and all these really fun things, but we wanted to get back to our community and we wanted to have things by them too, so that they're the ones producing it, they're the ones performing, they're the ones acting, whether it's salsa dancing, whatever it may be. We wanted to get back to the community.
Yeah, and tonight it's salsa dancing, and everyone's doing a great job out there. I love it. You can see the fan in the back, too. They're still hot out there. So this event is free. It's open to everyone. The next Locals Night, in case you're wondering, you want to put it on your calendar, is April 16th. The theme on that night is Punk Night and Spring Arts Mart. How fun. I love it. All right, coming up, the stage is set once again at Palisades Charter High School after wildfires destroyed their theater. Students are bringing Rent to life. We'll take you there. ABC has canceled the upcoming season of The Bachelorette starring Taylor Frankie Paul. Sky Fox over the Bachelorette mansion earlier this evening. The decision follows the release by TMZ of a 2023 video showing Paul yelling and throwing objects at her ex-boyfriend. Paul, also featured on Hulu's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, is under a separate domestic violence investigation in Utah. Her rep claims the video lacks context. The season was set to premiere Sunday. A rapper Afro Man has won a First Amendment case in Ohio. A jury ruled earlier today he didn't defame 7 sheriff's deputies after releasing songs and videos mocking them. The deputies raided his home in 2022 with a warrant for drug trafficking and kidnapping, but found no evidence. Afro Man, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, says the raid traumatized his kids. He argued his music was a legal response. Afro Man is famous for his 2000s hit, Because I Got High. Developing tonight, Nexstar says its merger with Tenga is a done deal. The FCC has approved it, uniting 2 of the largest TV station ownership groups in the U.S. But the mega deal already faces a legal challenge. 8 state attorneys general, led by California's Rob Bonta, filed a lawsuit to block the merger, saying it will stifle local journalism and lead to higher prices for consumers. Fox Sports and IndyCar, they're teaming up for a new digital series, All in IndyCar. That's the name. The show follows drivers and teams throughout the 2026 IndyCar season. The first episode, featuring 4-time champion Alex Palou, spotlights his quest to defend his title at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Fox Sports says the series offers fans an inside look at the intense competition and now to prepare for it.
What we do, we analyze the track, we analyze the changes. Now we're going into turn 2, turn 3, super technical, bumpy, 100, 120 mile an hour corner. We allow some kind of contact.
He's going to get aggressive, they're side by side.
We don't really have any gentleman's agreement, it's racing. That's what we're here for.
You can catch the show on the IndyCar on Fox YouTube channel, Fox 1, Tubi, and the Fox Sports app. Busted. Still ahead. A massive mortgage fraud ring taken down. LAPD and the FBI raiding homes across California and even Canada. And how did they pull it off? The exclusive details next. Plus, rising tensions in the Middle East are sending shockwaves through global markets and your wallet. California gas prices are soaring. Could relief finally be on the way? Wait until you hear what an expert says. Coming up.
across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
An early morning fraud crackdown. LAPD and the FBI raided homes from LA to Sacramento, even Canada, taking down a massive mortgage fraud operation. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf and Sam Dubin bring you the story you'll see only on Fox 11.
An early morning FBI fraud takedown across LA County. Fox 11, the only TV crew there, as federal agents and police storm a North Hollywood home, zeroing in on a man they say is tied to a sprawling mortgage fraud scheme.
It's a complex fraud scheme in which people are using private citizens' homes to leverage that to steal money.
Moments later, the suspect walks out barefoot and in pajamas, placed in handcuffs. Parked outside, high-end cars, a Range Rover and Lexus, the home itself appearing freshly remodeled. This image from Apple Maps compared to how it looked Thursday morning.
They live a very elaborate lifestyle based on the ill-gotten gains of this type of fraud.
This arrest related to about 10 others happening simultaneously across LA County and as far away as Florida and Canada.
This organized crime network has their minions, so to speak, on the lending side and the theft side of it.
Nobody likes to see somebody get a bunch of money for nothing, basically. People they paid off their mortgages on their homes. They should feel confident that they still own those homes free of encumbrances.
According to charging documents, the suspects stole identities, often from elderly victims, then used those identities to access property records. From there, they convinced private lenders to hand over millions, falsely claiming those homes as collateral. Total losses around $17 million in fraudulent loans.
We're certainly focusing on fraud in all its forms, not just fraud against the government or, whether it's the state or the national government. But it's also, in this case, you have fraud against private citizens and, private lenders as well.
A years-long investigation now turning into a wave of arrest with potentially more on the way tied to fraud.
It is a priority for us based on what's going on nationally in this lane. Trying to recover those funds and get them back to the taxpayers is a priority. We're working closely with the IRS in that as well.
Reporting in North Hollywood, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Northern California's 3rd District Congressman Kevin Kiley making shockwaves in Washington today after officially leaving the GOP. Kiley says the move lets him prioritize California voters over party politics. On the House floor this morning, Kiley talked about how he is now an independent, blasting congressional dysfunction and partisan gridlock.
The ordinary rituals of partisan politics are simply inadequate in these extraordinary times, are simply incapable of meeting this generational challenge. Our ability to work as one team, serving all Americans, is now more important than ever.
This decision tightens the GOP slim House majority, with Kiley now the only independent in the chamber. And Hawaii has a new Republican state representative tonight. Ellie Cochran announcing her resignation from the Democratic Party to join the Hawaii Republican Party. At 6 o'clock tonight, I talked to Republican Representative Ellie Cochran about her decision. Why did you make this move?
To bring balance to the government. It really has been that majority Democratic voice overpowering everybody else's voice. And as one of them, per se, I was shut out. Doors were slammed in my face. I wasn't given ample open opportunity to give different perspectives, voice my opinions and thoughts on things, and in particular to advocate for Lahaina, similar to LA after the wildfire. And I just, again, it's about bringing a balance to the government, and I can better advocate and be the best, do the better work for my community and my constituents.
You just mentioned Lahaina. I just want to make clear that your district covers West Maui, so you have joined us over the years after that fire. Is it fair to your constituents, though, who voted for you because of the D next to your name, to change parties? Why not wait until you're seeking re-election to do so?
So, and I tried. I really tried. I tried to work with, I tried to collaborate with the majority in Democrats for 4 years now, and nothing was working. So because I'm not going to be a puppet and I'm not going to be a rubber stamp for them, I was a outcast and a dissident in their eyes. And so now I've joined the minority where I'm welcomed, where my advocacy for my community is honored and respected and supported. So I had to make this move. It was not a conducive place for my constituents. And I've ran 5 elections as a nonpartisan candidate. So I have a track record. I have proven that I stand up and I am a strong voice for the people of this district. And I'm still that person. I haven't changed because I went from red to blue or, a D to an R. I'm still Ellie Cochran, and I'm here to fight as strong and hard as I always have for the district and the people of West Maui.
Is it fair to say that how the Lahaina fires were covered, were responded to, that ended up influencing you to switch parties?
Yes.
And how so?
Most definitely. There is a lot of, there's been, I'm going to say, corruption, illegal activity, monies misappropriated in my town under the guise of emergencies, under the guise of recovery efforts. And I've tried to have the majority caucus address it, to push forward an audit, to do investigations, and they refuse to. So I'm now in the minority Republican Party, and they're open. They want to hear what I have to say. They want to support the efforts that I've been trying to get the majority to do. So I know great things are coming, and there's going to be a lot more advocacy and opportunities to do better by my constituents.
Before I let you go, Ellie, if people are thinking about visiting Lahaina, is it rebuilt? Is it a place to visit and provide tourism to?
It's not rebuilt. There's a few boat companies leaving Lahaina Harbor, but it's still a beautiful place to come. The people like myself, full of aloha spirit, are still there to welcome you. And, it's just come and support us and give to our economy and keep us flourishing, So things are going to happen, as I say, since I have more support here at the Hawaii State Capitol.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out. Republican, newly minted, I shall say, Republican Ellie Cochran. Thank you so much. Mahalo. Well, Israel's strike on an Iranian gas field and Iran's retaliation have intensified the U.S.-Israeli conflict, with Iran now nearing its 4th week. The attacks are driving up oil prices, rattling markets, and sparking global economic concerns. Here at home, we're looking at AAA's map showing gas prices in California. It's hard to see, hard to digest. The average is almost $5.62. Earlier today on the Fox Local Stream, I spoke with energy strategist Alex Jaquez about when we could see prices start to come down.
We'd be looking at weeks and months of higher gas prices, in particular because gas prices are like rockets and feathers. When they go up really quickly like a rocket, and when they come down, they fall like feathers.
Alex says we could be looking at high gas prices even if the war ended today. As of right now, there is no clear end in sight, and gas prices will likely continue to climb as the war in the Middle East carries on. California is taking legal action against the Trump administration over its rollback of climate regulations. Governor Newsom and Attorney General Rob Bonta announcing a lawsuit today in Yolo County, leading a coalition of 25 states and 10 local governments. The suit challenges the EPA's reversal of an Obama-era finding that greenhouse gases endanger public health.
This isn't a small technical change. It's a sweeping decision that would increase pollution, worsen climate change, and put the health of millions of Americans at risk.
What these guys are doing is they're supercharging the abnormality. More droughts, more floods, more simultaneous droughts and floods, more wildfires.
At last check, the Trump administration has not commented on the lawsuit. In February, Trump called the move the single largest deregulatory action in American history. A new push to tax California's ultra-wealthy is dividing voters. A UC Berkeley poll shows 52% of registered voters support a one-time tax on billionaires to fund health care, while 33% oppose it. The numbers fall sharply along party lines, but proponents have until June 24th to secure enough signatures for the ballot. The same survey shows voters remain deadlocked over a proposed voter ID law requiring proof of citizenship. The data shows 44% support to 45% opposition, with 11% undecided. While divided along party lines, the measure sees higher support among first-generation immigrants. Neither this proposal nor the billionaire tax have officially qualified for the November ballot. A prehistoric predator uncovered. That's coming up. Scientists reveal a brand new Spinosaurus species after more than 100 years.
Are you hoping for a cool down? I might be able to help out with that. We'll talk about when it could happen and how low they'll go. Coming up.
New tonight, the curtains are back up at Palisades Charter High School. For the first time since wildfires devastated their theater, tonight students are taking the stage with a production of Rent. As Fox 11's Rachel Aragon reports, they aren't just rebuilding sets, they are rebuilding their community.
Hard to believe that just over a year ago, these students couldn't even get near this space, and now the stage is filled with so much energy and hard work. These students have been working hard to bring a production, and a classic one at that, for this community. Music fills the halls of Palisades Charter High School for the first time in 14 months. And not just any music, signature songs from the smash hit Rent.
This is our return to Pali. This is our first show back on campus.
Theater and dance instructor Cherie Smith is not just helping direct the production. She was also part of the Angel Company cast for the Broadway National Tour of Rent.
I'm really fortunate to be able to share that experience with our students here.
Don't got much baggage to lay at you.
For me, it's been a really cathartic experience.
For many students, especially those like seniors like Ella White, who lost her home in the Palisades fire, the ability to perform under these lights has been healing.
I'm honestly happiest when I'm at rehearsal.
These students acting in the beloved musical that is set in East Village of New York City, they've also had their hands in everything you see here, from the set design to the costume design, which had been stripped away after last year's January wildfires.
We had lost everything, all of our sets and props and costumes.
It was very somber, but getting the news that we were going to come back here was everything.
The students at Palisades Charter High School were always close, but being able to return to the stage after months of recovery has made them even stronger.
This show just also brings everybody together, so it's such a strong knit group, and we're all just working hard, and we all just want everybody to enjoy it.
And there is still time to buy tickets for this production. You have a QR code on your screen right now, but here at Pacific Palisades, about 60 students have been working hard to bring this production to life. As you just saw, got a glimpse of that earlier today, and it's something you certainly do not want to miss. Reporting in Pacific Palisades, I'm Rachel Aragon. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, today, about 800 people gathered for the City of Carson's annual State of the City at the Carson Event Center, and I was so honored to MC it and also host a conversation with Carson Mayor Lula Davis Holmes. She celebrated her city as an innovation hub and future host for the upcoming 2028 Olympics and Paralympics. Carson will host 7 events. Thank you to everyone who showed up, said hello, and of course, thanks so much to the City of Carson for having me. I have to tell you, Marquina Brown, I pulled up to Carson at 10 a.m. It was 77 degrees this morning. By the time I left, about 1:30 this afternoon, it was about 90 degrees. It was hot.
Yeah, you know, we're just in that pattern, Marla, and we're going to stay there. So, I don't know, let's just buckle up and deal with it. I, for one, am okay. I like the heat. It's a little early for me, but, you know, we're going to make it happen. Take a look at what's going on here, weather headline-wise. Over the next few days, again, the heat isn't going anywhere. We may cool off a wee bit as we get into the weekend, but that'll be about it. Looking specifically at what we do as we get into tomorrow, we're going to continue with the heat. And it's going to be one of those things where as long as that area of high pressure is around, we are going to stay hot. Taking a look at current temperatures on the outside, it is already a warm night. Still, the folks in Diamond Bar at 76 degrees. We're at 70 in LA, 77 for the folks in Whittier, Manhattan Beach. Good evening. You're at 66, Torrance at 73. So as we take a look at what's going to happen tomorrow, as I said, it's going to be another hot one. We start out the day in LA in the low 60s. By 8 a.m., we're in the mid to upper 60s. By 10 a.m., we're in the 80s, and yeah, we're going to top out in the 90s again. As we head towards Saturday and Sunday, we're going to watch this area of high pressure kind of wobble a little bit. As it moves away from us, we'll get an opportunity to cool off a few degrees. But keep in mind, even with that cool down, if you will, temperatures are going to be well above average. Tomorrow, this is what we're doing. Still lots of 90s and triple digits on the board. So as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, let's find out what's going to happen temperature-wise around here, how low this quote-unquote cool down is going to be, right? As we get into the weekend for LA and Orange County, we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, but then you're back into the low 90s as soon as Tuesday and Wednesday. For the coast, we're looking at 79 degrees tomorrow. You cool into the mid 70s as we get into Saturday and Sunday, and then you are back into the upper 70s as we get into the rest of the work week. For the valleys and the Inland Empire, no surprise here, you will be in the triple digits once again tomorrow. As we get into the weekend, we will cool you off so to speak, into the upper 80s and lower 90s. And then you will stick and stay with lots of sunshine and temperatures in the lower 90s for the majority of the work week. For the high desert, we're looking at 96 degrees for you tomorrow. You're in the low 90s as we get into Saturday. Sunday feeling really good at 89 degrees, but you will be back into the low 90s and even some upper 80s as we get into the rest of the week. And then we take you to the low desert where it has just been scorching. 109 for you tomorrow. We're looking at low, that's the best we can do for you. Low triple digits as we head towards Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Temperatures are going to stay obviously very hot there, so please take precautions. That is a look at what we're doing. We'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Markina. The NFL might be taking its normal winter to spring break, but guess what? There's some football happening this weekend right here in L.A. The Fanatics Flag Football Classic out at BMO Stadium this Saturday, which you can watch right here on Fox 11 at 1 p.m. A fairy tale ending. Punch, the viral baby monkey who melted hearts by clinging to a stuffed toy, may have found a real-life companion. We will introduce you to his girlfriend on the other side of the break.